Son of a... Do you see what I did there? Because I transferred Heung Min Son out last week. He scored 4 goals this week. I love fantasy football. Welcome back to another episode of my FPL series. It wasn't all that bad this week. I've managed to amass a whopping 81 points. Not bad at all. Not bad at all, considering I did not have the South Korean winger this week. So a quick breakdown of this week shows you that the points were pretty well rounded in a lot of departments this week, and I got lucky in a lot of aspects. Goalkeeper-wise, Hugo Lloris had a pretty decent game against Southampton, making a number of saves, 5 in total, only 1 more save away from getting another bonus point. We should have seen him pick up 3, but instead we only had to deal with the 2 as he was beaten from Danny Ings by the spot, and then also with a sensational finish at the near post. In defence, though, is where I really excelled and gained a lot of points on people this week. Trent Alexander-Arnold, everyone's favourite defender, managed to get himself his first clean sheet of the year, and also managed to get a bonus point for bombing up and down the flank and putting in a number of tasty deliveries, which he was unfortunate not to come away with an assist from. Jamal Lascelles was the only real letdown by conceding 3 against Brighton, and obviously getting a yellow card at the same time. It was not his best performance and is under potentially moving out this week. But bringing in Ezri Konsa ahead of Anders Stevens definitely paid off, as the Aston Villa defender didn't just get a clean sheet, but also got the winning goal in the Villains' 1-0 win over the Blades. Very, very impressive. Also saw him amount 3 bonus points and get a full whopping 15. Brilliant. If only I'd made him my captain. James Justin also chipped in a week where the defenders were not exactly primed to get you points, but he managed to also score a goal against Burnley, which takes his total so far this season to a very respectable 16 in 2 games against West Brom and Burnley. He looks like a very good attacking option, if not that good at the back. In midfield, it was a little bit more disappointing. Mo Salah had a couple of chances against Chelsea, but nothing really telling, and no clear-cut big chances either. So 3 points for him came in handy, along with James Ward-Prowse, who was flattered to deceive so far. He only got me 2. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was my captain this week, and along with pretty much nearly everyone in the game, but he only managed to amass assists, which is not better than nothing. But obviously, with the amount of points I gained elsewhere, namely in the form of James Rodriguez, my captaincy could have been better placed. Rodriguez on his debut for my team managed to get a goal and an assist at his home debut for Everton against West Brom. He was very, very impressive and looked to be sharing set-piece duties with Luka Digne, so something to watch out for. And up front, it could not have gone much better, really. Alexander Mitrovic managed to get me 2 goals in Fulham's 3-4 defeat to Leeds United, and Danny Ings, as I mentioned earlier, scored twice against Southampton to get himself, obviously a couple of bonus points as well. Very, very solid outing then from the boys, seeing us go up to 81st. I'm recording this at the time where they haven't updated the leagues, but I'm thinking I'm probably going to gain a little bit more here. But a big special mention has to go to Milan Shrestvar, who I believe, sorry if I got that wrong, mate, but I believe he got the highest score in the league this year, mainly obviously because he captained Heung Min Son. A brave choice and a wise choice. He also had Jordan Ayew, who I had on the bench, but he also got an assist, but could have potentially been a lot worse had his penalty not had to be retaken against Manchester United because he missed. So an 80 plus haul, which is not bad in the slightest, but I do think there is obviously room for improvement, and therefore here are 3 players that I am looking to potentially bring in this week that I think will have a very, very good future going forward. I'm also debating using the wild card, but I'm not 100% certain on that yet, because I still think the lineup I've got has got rather favourable fixtures. The first player in is Wilfried Zaha. Now, it seems like a bit of a no-brainer to be fair, but after his performance last year in fantasy football where he was not particularly that good, he has started this season in sensational form with 3 goals in 2 appearances against Southampton, and obviously got a brace against Manchester United as well, with 2 rather emphatic finishes and 1 from them from the spot, which is very interesting to note. With Luka Milivojevic actually not being on the pitch currently in the first team, it does set up Zaha for potential penalty duties. Most of them he actually wins himself. And when you look at his fixtures going forward, a home tie against Everton is potentially quite difficult, as is the away game against Chelsea, but Palace are built to play away from home, and their counter-attacking style is suiting them very well at the moment. They've also got a very favourable run of fixtures after that, so he at the moment is my number 1 target to try and get in this week, apart from Kevin De Bruyne, who obviously played very well against Wolves, already getting a goal and assist and setting the standard very, very high for what we come to expect from him, really. He is Mr. Consistent on fantasy football last year, 13 goals, 23 assists. The kid is just unbelievable. I say kid, he's obviously a bit older now, but he is just the best player in the Premier League. 11.5 million. The only player I think I could take out for him potentially is Aubameyang or Salah. So that is a difficult call that needs to be made. But he has to be the #1 priority, considering the fact that City's fixtures aren't really that great. But at the same time, it's Manchester City, so it doesn't really matter in terms of an FDR rating. They can paste anybody on their day, and him or Raheem Sterling will punish you eventually for not having them in their team, because they are both due big hauls at least once every 3 game weeks or so. So it's hard not to have him in, and he is definitely #1 on my priority list. But my outside bet for this week is a player that I'm pretty sure a few people are aware of, and that is Harvey Barnes. The young English winger down at Leicester has made a very decent start to the season. He looked threatening in their game against West Bromwich Albion, but it was the game at home to Burnley where he got a goal and an assist to kick off his season. He looked incredibly threatening. He's obviously made his way into Brendan Rodgers' first 11 plans. The only thing I would say is that maybe holding off a week to get him, because he's got Manchester City away next. But after that, fixtures do look potentially quite tasty. So maybe he is a player to be having or keeping an eye on at least. I know I certainly will be. So that's the roundup for this week. It's not been a bad one for me, but I do feel I potentially could have done better. I wouldn't say getting rid of Son was particularly a mistake. It looks like it on the shape of this game week. But having said that, Southampton made it incredibly easy for Spurs to play through them. The high line they were playing was suicidal, basically, and a lot of the goals I would have expected anyone to score. Before that, Tottenham didn't particularly look that creative, and I still think that any time team plays a low block against them, they're going to lack the creativity to break them down. So I'm putting that Son performance down to a little bit of a one-off, but we shall see. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you think though in the comment section. And like I said, keep your eye on how it's going in the MikeRo Invitational. Join it if you would like to. Let me know what your transfer plans are down in the comment section below. And while you're down there, please drop a like on the video, share and subscribe. Make sure that you come back for Thursday, where I'll be going through my team lineup for this week. Like I said, potential for a wild card, but highly unlikely. That will be saved until a later game week, unless Son scores another 4 goals again. Bloody well hope not. Alright, take care everyone. Make sure that you like, share and subscribe, and until I see you again, stay cool.